Hello, my name is Hirikuni or Hide, and welcome back to my channel. I'm a creative being and a mess of an artist, and I take you along onto my art journey. In this video, I will go with you to Minna Matsuri, which is a one-day event which took place in Trier on the 21st of September. It's a one-day event, which meant we went there in the morning to build everything up, stay there, sell, and then pack everything up again in the evening. And since it was a smaller event, I didn't have much to prepare. The only thing I actively did was cut out my patches because I had to reorder them because I was low in stock, and I usually order them 1 to twice a year because one of their big sheets is enough for me to get through quite many conventions. Yet it also depends on how much people buy, because at some events I barely sell any patches, while at others people go so crazy about them. So you see me cut them out in the background and then put them in my folder, which also contains all my prints. Yet, what is Minna Matsuri? This little event is a summer festival. It took place now for the second time, if I'm not mistaken. It's the first time I was there, and it's a little event to celebrate Japanese culture, traditions, and share it with everybody. It was an open event, which means that it took place in the city itself of Trier, and everyone could come by. It was very close to the main area of the city where people usually go to shop. It was on a Saturday, so it was quite busy. And that was great for us because throughout the day we had many people there. It never got boring. It was a very pleasant atmosphere and I enjoyed it so much. Let me put you on my table, since it's getting colder now. It's now after 6 o'clock and I wanted to film much more, but it was very busy. I'm very happy with how it went, how it was organized, super cute, super lovely. People mostly very kind. Like, it's not a convention like where people go that are interested in these kind of things. You also have many people that just come from the city and pass by and see it and are interested and look at it. So it's not like this very nerdy community, which is not necessarily negative. I am getting fat.
Ich hab fat verstanden, ich war so, wie nennst du dich gerade?
They're sour. That man is gay for my character, who is a crow.
Oh, you're filming?
Yeah, I am.
They were like, oh, there's no scene in the background. I was like,
I don't care for Lucy, I just care for the crow. He's gay for this man, so I understand. Again, I would have loved to show more of the event, but I haven't seen the event myself yet, and it's like after 6. And I don't think I will get around to do so. No, I don't know if I want to though. Because now most people are gone, so now you don't see much.
they're gonna start karaoke soon.
They have a quiz, at the moment they have a quiz and then later they have a karaoke. They overall had such a good program, like they had lots, which is great. Welcome to the back side of my table. They had a program, it's in German. They had signature hours, something like that. They had workshops. They had stage program, like they had so much. Like for a one-day event organized by a store. Also, here's the map. Wait.
How do I help?
Can you point at number 5? Because we are currently at number 5. And that's where the artist alley is, like from 1 till 5. And then they had some seating area here. Yeah, sitting areas there. Then they had like a little, a store to buy things. There was stage and all. Like they had a lot. They even had like the Japanese embassy here.
Yeah,
embassy here for the culture, like bringing in the Japanese
and
culture.
The Luxembourgish one as well.
Yeah, but the Luxembourgish Japanese embassy.
Luxembourgish Japanese and the Frankfurter Japanese, because theoretically, this area is under the Frankfurter Japanese embassy.
Yes.
However, nobody goes to Frankfurt for this shit.
It's too far away.
So they all go to Luxembourg, so they did like a sort of collaboration thing.
That's good. Yes, but they had so much in general, like this is designed by a friend, an artist who does super cool things. And yes, that's also how a table looks like after one day of event. Also, we are sitting on a bench, which is rare. We usually don't have benches. There was one other time I was sitting on a bench, and it's actually comfy. Also, I stand most of the time, so that's how my table looks from the other side, a side you don't usually see if you stand in front of it. The event was bigger than what I have imagined, and they had a lot of space to spread everything out. Due to that, I could hear what was going on the stage without being blasted with loud music or moderation. And that was very pleasant. It really had a great vibe. And besides artists, which were not many, they also had some merchants. They had their store, since it is organized by a store. They also had entertainment with music. They had a quiz, like they had so much, like really a lot. And it was very well organized. Like I really have no complaints. When I saw the map, I saw that we were sitting on one end of the whole event, which scared me a bit because I was like, oh no, we are sitting on the end, and what if people don't pass there? But it's an open event. It's like, it's not closed off. That means us sitting at the end also means that we are sitting at the start of the event, because people would also enter from there, and then we would be, like we the artists would be the first tables they would see and also approach. And that was very pleasant. The whole event also organized the tents, the tables and the benches, so we didn't have to bring anything. On that note, it was also my first outdoor event. I never tabled outside. I was a bit scared, also because of the weather, because events usually get planned weeks and months ahead, so you don't necessarily know how the weather will be like on that day. Yet, the weather played along. It was super sunny, it was warm, it was very cozy. There was also not too much wind. And sometimes you have like streets where it's super windy just because of how the city is built. But here it was open enough that this wouldn't happen. I had no issues with my prints. I think there was maybe one that flew off, but also not far. It was just the magnet. It was not strong enough that moment, so I had to go get it and hang it up again, but that was really no issue. Throughout the day I was very glued to my table though, because the backside of our tables was open, so I rather stayed there or only left when my boyfriend was there to make sure that there is someone at any given time, because if someone would come and steal something, they had an easier access than compared to other events, and they also had an easy time to run off, and that was something that scared me a bit. But this is not a complaint to the organizers or such, but just me wanting to tell you that if you're at an open space like that, that you might want to be more attentive than usual, and that you have someone around in case you want or have to leave your booth. I was also very happy that we had toilets very close by. It were Dixie toilets, and I don't like using them. I used them now twice in my life, but it was very pleasant to use them because they were also so far on the back that mostly we artists would use them, some visitors, but they were very clean throughout the event. Also behind us we had like a chill zone for people to sit down and eat and relax, so that was also very pleasant. But then again, they could also see behind our booths, and that's why I was very attentive. The reason why that event took place that day is because it was Manga Day. I have no idea if this is an international thing or only a German thing. I know that in Luxembourg it was also the case, so I have no idea about that. I just know that here locally it happened, and on that day you would also get free mangas if you would visit your local comic store that also carries mangas. And I think that was also very attractive to get some people in. Yet, as I already mentioned, we had many people there that just walked by and were curious. Something that was also great, right in the morning they had, I think it was a band with taikos, and they would make a lot of noise due to their music, which for us was not too loud again, yet it was loud enough that it would reach the main area of the city where all the people would be to lurk them in. In regard of money, it was a cute organized event and our tables were free. After all, it was a non-profit event. The only thing we had to pay was parking, which was directly underneath the area, and I wanted to park there to be comfortable, to be there on time, because we had like 2 hours in the morning to build everything up, I think 2.5. And I just wanted to have the car closed, to not have to walk too far with my things through the city, especially if I had to go back and grab something. And yes, parking for a whole day was 18 euros, which is a lot. Yet that was the number where the parking would stop anyway, so we really took advantage of that, and we also split the cost by 2, so my boyfriend and I had to pay each 9 euros. And that was it. That was everything we had to pay for that event. Of course, I could now add my food that I usually would add and also the gas to get there, but then again, I also had a nice weekend with my boyfriend since he doesn't live too far away, and I had to drive anyways then for that course, so I just don't care all too much about it. Yes, my expenses were 9 euros for such a wonderful one-day event. Everyone was so lovely and I had many sales. I think I also sold some shirts, I think 1 at least. And throughout the day, I made 862 euros and 20 cents. For one day, wonderful. I always aim to get around 400 euros in per day, so that was my goal, usually is. If I have a 2-day event, my goal is 800, and I made double the amount of what I initially wanted from that free event. I knew already I only had to pay 9 euros because I looked up all the information of the parking, so I had no high expectations and no pressure at all, and that was very nice. The only thing that stressed me out was driving through the city, because overall I don't like driving through cities. Then again, I drive very often through this one, and I would drive there early in the morning and late in the evening, so that was totally fine for me and also went well. But yes, I'm very happy with how it went, very excited, loved it, and it was just such a great experience, and I'm looking forward for it to happen again next year. Hope they accept us again, and yeah. One-day events are sometimes more work because of having to build up and down in the same day, but with such a great success, very rewarding. And that was it. If you have any questions or feedback, please let me know down in the comments. If you want to support me, you can do so on my Ko-fi. If you're interested in commissioning me, you can shoot me a message on Instagram or Blue Sky. And for the rest, I wish you a good day or night wherever you are. Bye!